Hello, everyone. This is Steven from Simply Nerdy, and I'm joined today by Anthony.
Hey, guys.
We are here to discuss Anthony's backlog, because as you know, and as you've heard in our previous videos, he talks about his backlog constantly. And especially right now in our quarantine time, some of you may be looking for good games to be playing while you're quarantined. So here we go. We're going to turn the time over to Anthony, and he's going to tell us what
games I should be playing.
What games he should be playing, and if any of them sound good to you, you should probably pick them up and play them too.
Well, if your interests are anything like mine, but I think let's all be honest that the real purpose for this video is for you all to laugh at me and my plight, and for me to at least finally convince Steven here that I do have a crap load on my plate, and that's my own fault, but it's still there. So, so this is more of a gag episode. You can get a good laugh and maybe get something more out of it too, perhaps.
There you go. I like it.
Anyway, so we'll start off with what I call my untriageable list of games. These are the games that cannot be delayed. These are the ones that I absolutely will be playing and in the next few months, but getting to them is also still difficult. So the top of the list right now is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Love that game. I loved the original. This one is proving to be superior in every way, so really enjoying it. But that's the top right now. Then after that, Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's taken a Herculean effort not to just start playing that game, but see, my problem here, if you haven't already picked up on it, is that I'm bouncing around too often and leaving too many games unfinished, and that just hurts my backlog even more. So I'm trying to stick to one at a time if I can help it. At any rate, so that one's next. Then after that, most likely, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition will be out by the time I'm anywhere near that. So that one's going to get played for sure. You guys probably already knew that. You've heard, if you've been listening to our videos long enough, you definitely know that I'm really excited for this one.
And he's going to be playing that one along with me at the same time, and when I get stuck, he can help me.
Oh yeah. I might have said this before, but I think, let's just put it this way. Out of all of the character reveals for any of the Smash games, the reveal for Shulk was the only time I screamed my head off. I was at school, mind you, while it happened. I was in one of the college buildings, innocently watching the reveal trailer while eating my lunch, and then just about gagged on my food and had to scream my head off. That was exciting. And then, when Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition was announced and came out of nowhere, we were innocently just driving somewhere, and I had an involuntary shriek emit from my mouth the moment I realized what they were announcing. And then it got even worse when I realized that it was more than just a port. So anyway, there you go.
There you go.
I'm very excited for this.
I am too.
So that's definitely on the untriageable list. And then I think the last one is Bravely Default 2. That one's also not out yet, but honestly, by the time I get through those first three, it probably will be. And so then that will be the next on the list. So those are that's my current slate. And now to impress you with what's left.
Impress you with what's left.
and then you can all understand my plight. So the only reason this first one is at the top of the list is because I have been playing it recently, and I think I might need a break for a little bit. Is Fire Emblem Three Houses. Excellent game, but I realized that when a game, so I'm already.
Yes, this is a dilemma. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm already a bit of a completionist, but generally I would say that I can still rein myself in enough to not like try to get every single thing the game has to offer. You know, if I'm not enjoying myself, then I'll rein myself in and do the stuff I do enjoy. Generally, that's true of me. But with Fire Emblem Three Houses, okay, now mind you, I'm going to tell you in advance, this may constitute spoilers for you guys. So if
spoiler warning now.
Then flee while you can. But I'll keep it as spoiler-free as possible. Let's just say that Fire Emblem has the tendency of, first of all, putting you very much on the clock. You feel like you're racing against time, and you barely have enough time to get anything done. And it kind of makes it a moral choice. If you don't, for example, try to recruit all of the people from the other houses, then, okay, here's the possible spoiler for you guys, so run away. But later on, it's basically equivalent of consenting to their deaths.
And
my
permanent deaths, right?
is that when a game makes it basically a moral choice-ish like that, then I have trouble ignoring it. And so let's just say that most people, they talk in tones of wonder at the idea that a person would take 90 hours to do one of the playthroughs. Well, I just got to part 2 of my very first playthrough. I'm playing the Black Eagles. Just barely got to part 2. I recruited every single character it is possible to recruit when playing the Black Eagles. Every single one.
Oh man, dedication.
They say
right
that's
there.
difficult. It was. And anyway, at the time I transitioned to part 2 of the game, I had logged 72 hours and 39 minutes.
Hey!
When people say, oh my gosh, I don't understand how it takes people 90 hours to beat the game, I will sit over in the corner and try to hide from
Keep his
as chances are
grab the curtain.
I will pass that I don't know by how much. Now that I don't have to recruit people anymore, things might go a lot faster, but let's just say I might find it easy to get to 90 hours.
Man, dude.
And I'm still interested in the other 2 playthroughs, but those are going to come later because
A lot later.
I feel like I've kind of burned myself out a little bit by trying too hard to do all of the stuff. So I might take a little break just to give myself a breather so I don't ruin a perfectly good game by not feeling into it while I'm playing it. But
Yes.
but I want to find out what happens. Ugh, it's annoying.
It's gonna be sick. I'm sure it's gonna be super epic. Especially, yeah. I can't imagine.
The story so far is amazing. I'm really enjoying it. But I think my difficulty is it's really far and in between because I spend so much time in the in-between. And so like it takes me, like the game is broken up into in-game months, and I swear like I feel like it takes me almost a month to get through one of those months. Okay, that's a huge exaggeration, but sometimes it feels that way. And so when I finally get to the next story part, I'm like, wait, so what happened last? What was?
I gotcha.
Anyway, but it's a very good game. Just try to rein yourself in if you have completionist tendencies like me. So that's why that one is not on the untriageable list, because right now it might get have that very thing happen to it and have me set it down for a while so I can come back fresh.
Yes.
We'll see. But I also
I don't
will
blame
say
you.
in subsequent playthroughs, I am absolutely doing New Game Plus, and I'm just buying all those people back. I'm not doing that all again.
I was gonna say, yeah. I hope we don't have to do that again. Hopefully, it's just once. All right.
Anyway, that's too much talk about Fire Emblem. It is an excellent game, but it's definitely on my triageable list. So that's just one of many. After that, this one is one that Stephen has called me a heretic for a while now. I still have not played the Breath of the Wild's Champions Ballad yet.
Oh my gosh!
And I have to admit that the large part of the reason for that is that
He wanted to save it.
I've been saving it.
You've been saving it.
Let me ask you this. Have you ever played a game so transcendently wonderful that you just sat back and like, why can't I erase my memory so I can go back and experience it all again for the very first time, right?
Yes.
Especially for what is your favorite game ever made, Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yep.
And so my thought was, okay, this Champions Ballad adds a whole gamut of new story. Maybe it's not, hugely expository, from what I've heard of some people, but it's new. And I thought, hey, this might be the closest I could get to basically having that wish of having my memory, quote unquote, erased for my favorite game ever, where I start over, sometime in the future, I play the entire game all the way through, and then do the Champion Ballad stuff as if it's part of some new playthrough,
Oh, that's right. You were going, not just playing the Champions Ballad, you want to do the whole thing again.
On Master Mode, yes.
Which is so much fun, by the way. I've beaten Breath of the Wild 3 times.
Sweet, man. That's amazing.
Once on normal mode, twice on hard mode.
Really?
Yes.
See, now, but here's my problem.
Love it.
The clock is ticking. Breath of the Wild 2 is starting to sound like it's getting awful close.
Yeah, it is.
And I definitely want to see the DLC stories before it comes out, because chances are they're going to be important.
Yes.
They're going to refer to them in some way. So I'm starting to wonder if I just need to give up on that hope, because how am I going to find the time to sink another 160 hours in another playthrough of Breath of the Wild, and then some, by the time that Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. So I might end up just booting up my old normal mode save file, doing the story, and being sad that I can't do my wish. But, then again, I'm getting Breath of the Wild 2, so I suppose I shouldn't complain too much. Anyway, that's why I haven't done that one. But I'm talking too much, so let's move on to the rest of the list, and then hopefully I'll stop boring you guys. Because
by the way, before he moves on, if you have not played Breath of the Wild DLC, there's the best DLC I have ever purchased. Let's just put it that way. All the DLC that's out there that's been ever included in any game, this is by far the best DLC I've ever seen.
Well, that's good to hear. I'll just say this: I know for a fact that the DLC will come off of the triaged list of games the moment we start getting notably close to Breath of the Wild 2 release. Moving on, then I'll go through a little bit faster with the rest of my silly list here. Luigi's Mansion 3. That one got on the wayside, unfortunately. So that one's gonna have to come back up eventually. Then a few others that I either bought because they were deals or because eventually I want to play them if I ever live long enough to get to that point. Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night. It's I don't know if you haven't heard of it. It's a Castlevania-like, Igavania style game. I'm a huge fan of those. Azure Striker Gunvolt Striker Pack. It's kind of a Mega Man-like game that I've wanted to play for a while, and I got that on a deal. Final Fantasy X and X-2. Mega Man X 5 through 8. I may or may not play 5 through 7, but I've heard good things about 8, and I own the thing, so we'll see. Splatoon 2 Story Mode and Octo Expansion. Spider-Man on PS4. Pokemon. The Mana Collection. And now, mind you, these are just old games. Like, obviously, there's going to be releases coming potentially this year that are just going to clog this up even more. If this really is going to end up being a year where we celebrate Mario's 35th anniversary with a bunch of new games, then that's going to add a whole bunch to my backlog. The difficulty here is that I have this laundry list of games, which I assure you I'm missing some here. I assure you I am missing some. Oh yeah, Sonic Mania. That's another one.
Oh, that's one I haven't played yet either.
And there's all those indies that they talked about.
Moving out.
Axiom Verge 2. Yep. I just have too many gaming interests, and so what might be my only hope, which I don't actually hope for, is if like one day gaming just crashed and died, and then I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just play on my retro backlog then. There's enough to last me my lifetime.
Anthony, yes.
Let's hope that
doesn't happen. For the rest of us.
But that's probably where I'll end it. I'm sure there's more, and I imagine that those of you in a similar situation probably have a similar story. So, you know what? Why don't you help me feel better about myself by sharing some of your backlogs in the comments? And
there you go.
I won't feel so bad that I keep playing these games. Yeah, I definitely want to play this eventually. Wow, it's half off? I mean, this is money I'm spending on a game I can't really play. I'm doing it anyway. And then I can't play it.
Oh, the struggle's real. And getting away from the Wii U era, which there was nothing to play ever. Coming into this,
I know,
there's tons and tons of options.
This is the opposite of the problem in the Wii U era. I could play games until I played them dry, and then I'd still have a few months before the next one came out. And I'm just like, well, it's hopeless. I give up. I'm just going to play whatever I can, whenever I can.
There you go.
Anyway.
You heard it here first.
Anthony has a hopeless case of backlog syndrome. They're all good games, though.
They're all great games to be playing.
I mean, you should all check it out.
So anyway,
I'm
you
gonna
heard
have
it here
to-
first. If you want to play one of these games, talk to Anthony. And until next time.
Keep it nerdy, and keep your backlog clean. See you guys.